Have you ever wondered what would happen if Earth's gravity disappeared for just 2 minutes? Gravity, that invisible force that keeps our feet firmly planted on the ground, is often taken for granted. But it's much more than just the reason we don't float off into space. It's an integral part of our daily lives, influencing everything from the smallest of movements to the grandest of natural phenomena. Think about it. We walk, run, sit, and stand, all thanks to gravity. It shapes our world, from the way water flows down a river to the way the moon orbits our planet. And let's not forget gravity's role in the tides, those rhythmic rises and falls of the sea, orchestrated by the gravitational dance between Earth, Moon, and Sun. So we've established that gravity is crucial, but what if, for a fleeting moment, it just stopped? Imagine, if you will, gravity suddenly vanishing. What do you think will happen? Now, let's take a surreal journey into a world without gravity, albeit for just 2 minutes. In the first blink of an eye, everything not fastened down would start to float. Yes, including you and me. We'd experience a state of weightlessness, much like astronauts do in space. But don't get too excited about the impromptu zero-gravity experience just yet. The moment gravity takes a 2-minute hiatus, the Earth's vast oceans, free from their gravitational shackles, would rise up, creating enormous tidal waves and disruptions. Imagine the sheer scale of that. Billions of cubic meters of water suddenly defying the rules of gravity, if only momentarily. Simultaneously, the air around us would begin to act strangely. The atmospheric pressure that we take for granted, that keeps our bodies functioning, and the weather patterns in check, would temporarily cease to exist. The air molecules no longer pulled towards the Earth would begin to disperse into space, making it hard for us to breathe. And what about the Earth itself? Well, our planet is spinning at a tremendous speed. Without gravity to hold it together, it could start to break apart, its pieces floating off into space. Though, rest assured, 2 minutes might not be long enough for such a catastrophic event. The birds, the airplanes, our beloved pets, the coffee in your cup, every single thing would be thrown into a state of chaos and confusion, as the fundamental force that has been holding everything in place since the dawn of time takes a brief sabbatical. And then, just as suddenly as it disappeared, gravity would return. But the world won't simply snap back to normal. The aftermath of those 2 minutes would be something to behold. The ocean tides would crash down, objects and people would fall, and the atmosphere would rush back toward the Earth. And that's just the start. The real chaos happens when gravity returns. Scene script. 2 minutes are over and gravity is back, but the world as we know it has changed. Imagine the scene. Everything that was suspended in the air, from the smallest dust particles to the largest aircrafts, suddenly plummets back to Earth. The impact is catastrophic. Buildings crumble under the weight of the falling debris, and our once familiar landscapes become unrecognizable. But it's not just the physical world that bears the brunt of gravity's return. The human toll is equally devastating. People who were flung into the sky by the absence of gravity now fall back to Earth. Many do not survive. And then there's the environmental impact. The sudden absence and immediate return of gravity wreaks havoc on our weather systems. Storms rage with newfound intensity, and natural disasters such as earthquakes and tsunamis could become more frequent and more destructive. Ocean tides, driven by the gravitational forces of the moon and sun, would experience drastic changes. The sudden drop in gravity could cause massive tidal waves, engulfing coastal areas and causing untold damage. Then there's space. Without gravity, Earth's atmosphere would start to leak into space. When gravity returns, the sudden rush of gases could ignite, causing a ring of fire to encircle our planet. So, the absence of gravity, even for just 2 minutes, could result in unimaginable chaos and destruction. So, what's the takeaway from this hypothetical scenario? Gravity, often taken for granted, is our silent guardian. It holds everything together, from the smallest pebble to the mightiest mountain. It's the unseen glue that keeps the Earth and life as we know it in harmony. Imagine the chaos without it, even for just 2 minutes. The results would be catastrophic. Earth without gravity, even for a mere 2 minutes, is a terrifying thought. So let's appreciate the invisible force that keeps our feet firmly on the ground.